So this case is on a property firm based in New York called EPM, uh, with Alex Kozak, who's the senior executive, and he has partnered with a Russian partner, Krasny Invest, under the leadership of one of his colleagues, and they've spent 6 years developing a commercial office complex called Eastern Square in Moscow. And near the end of this project, basically COVID hit, and they face a lot of uncertainty in one, the future cash flows, and two, how much money it would actually cost to complete the project with given the market situation. And there's two basically choices Alex can have. He can either get his contract bought out, which provides a good base and something that you can actually depend on to happen because it's a transaction. Or you could stay and continue to build it and probably take losses in the development of it, worse than projected prior to a recession like COVID. And also, on the other side of that argument, is with the market conditions as well. During COVID, there was a lot of projections with remote work and Zoom work. So it's not even about the building itself being rented out, but it's also what's happening inside of the building, because that reduces customer demand, and obviously you're going to be making your cash flows off the rentals and how much people actually want an office building. And as we know now, virtual kind of work and remote work has pretty much taken over with, I think there was a stat in there that said less than 50% of office chairs and are pretty much have people in them on every day, which is a crazy stat to think of. But based on this information, um, I agree with the expert who basically said they should accept the buyout offer. Considering I feel like if they weigh out the future projections that they had before, they were probably taking a decent margin. But now with the market uncertainty and the actual known factor that they're most likely going to take losses on the rest of the development of the building, and also the rise in hybrid work and remote work, I feel like it's a pretty clear answer to just not really gamble with this and kind of take your money and go with it, because obviously uncertainty is a risk in anything in finance. And when this risk actually comes into fruition, I feel like you have to play your cards right and kind of get what you can get out of it. Because worst case scenario, he continues to build this out, and he already encounters losses on the rest of the development with the construction materials and workers and whatnot. And he doesn't even make the predicted cash flows because of what's going on with the working situation, whether they're inside or outside. So I would say with just the general market conditions, um, it would be very important to kind of just weigh those out. Because, I mean, in gambling, you always assume in blackjack that the dealer has a 10. And I feel like in this situation with COVID, the dealer actually has a 10. So you basically have to play your cards right, unless you're just going to get absolutely gone out of this. And also, there's also another aspect to this, because obviously an investment of this size has some sentiment towards it. Alex already has been working on this for 6 years, and obviously he probably been thinking about for the last 6 years getting this thing done, especially in another country. It's pretty exciting, but um, I feel like you have to look at every decision rationally and take emotions out of it, especially if it's financial. Um, and obviously, there's a lot of sentiment to just say, I've been working on this for 6 years. I need to see it completed just to be satisfied. And it's very hard to take a step back and kind of think like this is actually the smart decision I would make if I wasn't myself and I wasn't this emotionally invested into this company. Um, but with the risks presented, I feel like it's still pretty obvious. Obviously, he should go to probably a consulting firm just to verify. And also, it also depends on how much tolerance they can take. I mean, if they somehow got the development for this building very cheap, and they already have people lined up to rent it at pretty high rates. I don't know how Russia works, if there's more demand for buildings and whatnot. But if that was the case, then I would probably think about it more. But considering that they're already taking considerable losses on the development of it and how the job market's looking, I think this is a clear take the offer.